What's up, everybody? Episode 231. Welcome, everybody. We are excited to be here per usual. We've got TitanDiscGolf.com. I'm sure you know more about TitanDiscGolf.com than you ever knew before this year, and we're happy to do that. They've got exclusive stamps. They have free shipping over $75, competitive pricing. They have limited stamps, as I mentioned. I think I just said that. And you get the picture of the disc. I think a lot of people are doing this, but it's so high quality, this app. I call it an app because the website functions so close to an app. It's actually not an app, but it's pretty good. As far as browsing discs go, my computer just chimed. Not sure what that was, but there you go. They
restart.
Yeah, they agree. So that's funny. I have Ben always gets muted somehow on my side, but we didn't hear his laugh. That's okay. Ben's here. Josh is here.
Hello.
Yes, we are.
Man, I'm wearing my Titan Disc Golf hat too. TitanDiscGolf.com hat. Would you just hit it up, send some traffic that way right now if you're sitting there with your phone or your laptop?
And buy 5 discs.
Or anything. Yeah, buy disc. Use code Staggered Stance. But seriously, if I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. TitanDiscGolf.com. It's that easy. You push a little traffic there during the hours of, which is all week. People are listening to us all week. I love how it's listed out. Go check it out. Tell me if you think it's pretty good layout. I do. I think it's great. Let us know. We've got a new feature that we can do here. There you go. We pulled it out like Todd Bouchard in the chat. See, you're up on screen now, Todd. It says good evening.
Let's go.
What's up, Todd? Good evening to you. So, for those who are listening post, you're like, good evening. It's morning. A lot of people listen Tuesday morning. We're happy to have you. Josh is here. Nick is on his way. He's a working man, as we all are, but we're gonna have to ask him.
Blowing dynamite.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask him about the dynamite business again. All right. Wow. Busy day for me. I'm sure it was busy for everybody. Josh, what'd you do on Friday?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll chat about it. I'm recovering from some welts. They say getting painted, but I feel like it was getting shot. Probably by Ben. I don't know if you unloaded on me or not, but a bunch of us, including some not on the show, got out on the paintball course celebrating Ben Kinney himself.
Yep.
It was what do you call it? It's a bachelor party, but last hurrah. It was an extended period of time where dudes were hanging out doing things that
guys being dudes. Like paintball. We got Grambo, both Grambos on the scene. Matt Graham, all-star paintballer. He's in the first team all-star Hall of Fame. He got my vote.
Yeah, and I thought I was good, but I was like the old grandpa Grambo roaming around there. And after the first 3 rounds, I was getting a little scared. I was intimidated. I'm like, I don't feel like getting welts. I literally have
you
a
didn't
welt.
have any head protection.
I have a welt literally in the top of my head now. My bald head has a nice mark on it. Up and down my back, all over, But anyway, honestly, it was a ton of fun. Plenty of good stories. That's why you do things like that, right? You're making the memories, plus the activity's fun. And so, yeah, Ben, thanks for inviting me. It was a good time.
Of course. I'm glad you can make it out. It was a lot of fun. Paintball, I want to go back. I want my revenge.
I know. Well, it's funny. Since then, I've thought about, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that again anytime soon. And then later I was thinking through strategy.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was thinking through strategy. What did I do wrong?
I'm I got to do it again just to because I know I could play better. But I don't think we're going to go too much into it. But I think this may have been an elaborate plan to take me out because one of your close buddies literally tells me I'm on his team. He's like, go up, you take the high ground up there. And I'm sitting up in this booth. It's an urban dystopian
city.
Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm only exposed backwards towards my team. There's no way anybody else can shoot me. And all of a sudden a shot comes right off my shin. And I'm thinking, how is a paintball bouncing and hitting me? And I look down and he's just looking up at me and he just literally sniped me from 25 feet away. And I'm like, was that you? And
Shout
he was
out,
so
Jake.
embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, he felt so bad. So I'm laughing at this. It's funny to me now, but at the moment, I was just so confused. And he said he just all of a sudden, when all the shots started firing everywhere, which you know the splatter sound, they're just going everywhere around you. I think he just panicked and shot anybody he saw, and I was the one who was sitting perfectly still in front of him. So good times, good memories. Obviously, it was fun to be there.
Yeah. That was one of the strategies I thought of. I was like, bro, like next time I go, I gotta get more high ground. It was so OP, the people that were up in the building, but
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I only almost cried once.
I'll give a tip of the hat to Ben. He gives me the kudos for MVP or whatever it was, but after enough playing together, he realized his mistakes. He found out a way to get better in the last match. He pinned me down. I knew I had to move, and I started moving, but it was literally too late. He was on my back. Like, I think I took 5 shots to the back from 25, 30 feet. So, and we were doing like respawn stuff, and he's like, Matt, where do you respawn? I'm like, dude, you hit me 5 times. I'm out. Like, we only had 3 shots. We played all different types of games. Anyways, good to have everybody
yeah, I know
here.
this isn't a paintball podcast, but Ben was so nice. The last time I got lit up and down like the back. And it was like, it hurt worse than any of the games we played before. And like, I'm right next to Ben. We're against each other, but he's just like, it's all right. He's like, you can just stay here. Just stay here, man. Just stay here. I'm like in like a bunker,
he's
like
oh,
dying.
that hurt.
It hurt so bad. Like I was expressing real pain. Ben's like, just stay here. I'm like, no, I am leaving because I don't want to like accidentally get shot again.
Well,
anyway, good times.
I had a conundrum. That's another word. I can say conundrum. And by the way, exacerbate, I now know how to say. I had to practice it. I talked to my wife later. No, it's not exacerbate.
Podcast word of the day.
That's what it's
exacerbate.
Exacerbate.
No,
I said exacerbate.
All right. We're debating it again.
Are you saying a T in there?
Exacerbate.
There it is. It's weird, right? So anyways, I could say that word. Conundrum.
Yes.
Ben, we were playing headshots only for one game. It was pretty fun, actually. Whereas in like one team was headshots only, and it was called, I don't know, infection. You'd switch sides if you hit each other. So Ben and I are literally dueling from like 50 feet apart, maybe a little more, but like back and forth. And he's just shooting. He's behind a barricade. I'm not as much behind a barricade. I'm just trying to get off shots. He's not hitting me at all. I don't know what's happening, but he's just flinging by me, and I'm just continually shooting him. His hands are on his gun. It's in front of his face because he's trying to prevent a headshot. Oh, no. See, he's showing it on camera. Really I literally was lighting up his hands. I'm like 50 feet away, just peppering paintballs at him. I'm just watching him explode, and he's not leaving. I'm like, this guy's tough is what I'm thinking, or he's dumb. Like, he's just taking it. And I was like, should I stop? I'm like, your wedding's coming up. And I'm like, I can destroy your hands. And then, like, long story short, I ended up getting you, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I had to do something. So I was trying getting up, and then you hit me. But yeah, one last thing. That was the thing I learned. Me and Matt would get in like 1v1 gunfights, and I would always get the first shots. And I would take Matt by surprise, but then he started shooting me back, and I would just go like, ah! And start looking away, and so like, and then he would just stay there. So that's what I learned. Like I gotta just stay there and
it's
keep
like
the shots
putting.
going because
it's like putting, except you have paintballs flying at you. You just gotta stay calm.
People started shooting at me. I just started like running and just spraying, and then I would get out because I would not get any shots on them.
There you go. So again, this is not a disc golf. This is a disc golf podcast, not paintball. But this is an off week technically, like as in like off week from the disc golf pro tour. There was professional disc golf to be had. We talked about it real quick in the end of last week. We said Jonesboro is happening, a few others as well, and we also teased out we were going to have Nicholas on. Now, if you're a professional disc golfer and you play a great event and have a great storyline, every podcaster under the sun reaches out to you, including us.
Mm-hmm.
We were definitely one of the first to contact him. We're happy to have that network where he was able to get back to us. He said it won't work. He was driving. We tried to do a phone call. He said that wouldn't work. He didn't feel right. He wanted to do it this week. And so that was the intention. One thing leads to another. He does who knows, 4 or 5 podcasts this week. He doesn't feel like he has much more that I think he wants to say. So I'm going to put that on him. We still would have loved to have him tonight. But I will do this. We'll put it on him, and maybe unrightfully so. He said next win that he will be an exclusive with us, or at least first. But I think he said exclusive. He said he only wants to do one, right, Ben?
He did say, Basically, he was just like the podcasting was a lot on him, and for his next win, he'll just do one, and he said it'll be us. So, guys, cross the fingers for the win, and he'll be. But maybe not. Like we're not gonna hold it. Be like, oh, no. Remember what you said?
Nicholas.
Well, I don't know. If he wins world championships, I'm holding him to it.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, remember what you said, Nicholas.
Yeah. Even though we can kind of joke about it, it's actually an interesting, real thing. Not that we need to dive into it, but these players who get wins, there's like this whole like media circuit that I think if they don't have a lot of experience with it, it's actually really exciting and fun for them. But at the same time, it's a lot, especially for their lifestyle, right? Traveling and then trying to get practice rounds in. And next thing you know, they have 6 hours of media to cram in somewhere. We've seen players like Simon Lizotte. He used to do a lot more. And really, once he started winning, was it like 2 years ago, whatever? It was just like, whoa. Like, right, totally wound it back. We see Kristen, whose approach is probably fundamentally different than that, but she does not, right, hit up much. And, even Nicholas, I don't know what his future plan is long-term, but he's like, that was quite an experience, but I've got to manage that better.
That's what I think happened. And I think he is taking
He's also busy today, yeah.
Yeah, sure. But I just mean in general, like, think about it. Like, of course, you want to actually ride the wave of a win, and media is part of that, but it's also a lot.
Exactly. And that's a whole nother topic, but I want to be careful to tread on that because this is not a reflection on Nicholas.
Oh, I was commenting in general, yeah.
Yeah, but the topic in general, to your point, I've thought about it, and it sounds self-serving because we are a podcast that looks forward to these interviews, but the actual, take on this that I have is that players, there is the right balance between participating more in media and almost as much as possible. But look, like you said, you go to someone like Simon, I still think there's some level of he could continue just to go everywhere. But then there's also, you got to manage your time and do your priorities to where you think you're going to have your most maximum return. For a lot of these people, they don't have the Simon Lizotte following. They don't have the Paul McBeth following. I think for a majority of disc golfers, tell me what you think, Ben. The majority of disc golfers, like 98% of them, would benefit from almost going on every single podcast they could, period. I don't care whose podcast it is. I think it would be beneficial to them. Obviously, as long as it doesn't get into the way, I have to do that caveat. It doesn't get in the way of their career. But if it's just hey, I'd rather watch a movie or play a board game, there's, again, nuance here in the sense of board games can be good for your mental. I'm talking just in general, the more exposure you can get for yourself, the better. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, that's really it. You just have to, that's all that has to be said is, just no matter who you are, even if you are Simon, exposure helps in essence where it's just you're just reconnecting. Even for Simon, he's just reconnecting with his fans, but other players, it might be getting new fans. So, but I also understand and 100% respect the decision to not, but Niklas literally just wasn't able to make it. Mondays are his travel day.
This wasn't about him. That's why I said I had to be careful how we tread here because this was not about him. I will say in the past, though, and I don't want to say names here because then it would come off in a weird kind of way because I am speaking about a specific situation. But we've had players in the past, I'll put it this way, 5 years, 6 years, that have strangely turned down interviews altogether. Don't show up anywhere in media after significant story or a big performance or even a win. Again, everyone has their preference. But if I said this player's name, everyone would say they would have benefited greatly. I'm not saying from staggered stance, although I think we offer that value, but just greatly in general, getting out into media more for sure. And it sometimes confuses me when these people don't, and I think it has to do with they don't have that same mindset, Ben. Ben's very entrepreneurial, right? You understand that you're going to make a brand. You're going to have people talking about you one way or another. You can kind of help spin that, or you can just be in people's, I guess, faces and ears to where they at least have to hear your message. And I think that this player that I'm thinking of specifically, like, chose not to. It makes you kind of wonder what their thoughts are, which I'll kind of conclude this by saying, I don't think they have that thought. I don't think they've thought through that aspect of it. They like to play disc golf. And they're living the life that they're happy with. I don't think their ambition's much bigger than that. Again, you probably want me to spill the name, but then that's too much for me.
No,
I'm not going to do that.
We don't want you to spill the name.
I'm not going to do that. Just stands out to me, specifically probably in the last, like I said, 5 years, earlier on. So you can go try to figure out storylines and who we didn't have, but it's going to be a lot of work. Cool.
There's a lot of players we haven't had.
Yeah, a lot. So anyways, that's a little bit of me talking on it. We would open up the phone lines tonight. If someone was really interested, we'll drop the phone number in the YouTube chat. And you could give it a call, and we would take a question or a take and talk about it. So if you'd like to do that, just comment, say, hey, I'd like to call in. We'll give you the phone number. Besides that, Pop Drop Lock tonight, we're going to talk about a little bit about what does it mean at Jonesboro Open. Josh, you have some other topics to get into. Where do you want to go next?
Yeah, well, I was actually just looking at some notes about an event that's playing on Thursday. Do we want to review? Did you say, I just don't want to miss it. Did you say you wanted to talk about Jonesboro?
Yeah, I'm saying, okay, let me pose it to you this way.
I just didn't want to overspeak that.
Yep. Well, I was saying we have these topics, but Jonesboro, and it's the title of the episode, at least as its current episode standing right now, is what happened at Jonesboro and does it matter? So the question is, do non-disc golf pro tour events matter? Now, that's up to you to decide what matter means. So if you want to make a case for that, make a case. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, so as you said, it really depends. So I'll tell you what my take is. When it comes to how I might evaluate their professional season, which is mostly what we talk about on this show, then it doesn't matter to me. And to explain that a little bit more, like at the end of the year, player of the year, and I don't even mean the calculated factors, but just like my subjective opinion, I don't think I'd look back at any of those things and consider them. In fact, they'll probably fade even in the memory of my mind. Like it's like I'll forget what else they played, right, as filler events. So if that's I know your questions in general, but if that's the question, then I'm like, yeah, like what Kristen did, what Ben Calloway did, what these players who just won at Jonesboro, I'd be like, it's not a factor. However, and this is not trying to walk both sides, but it's just to say, if you define it differently, which is like from the player's perspective, I think it matters a lot. Everything from momentum to confidence to accomplishments to, for some of them, still getting the cash payout matters. Kind of momentum, right, in the season. Like if you're Kristen, who just had a really kind of tough, almost kind of a weird event that felt that way at Open at Austin. And Kristen's been fairly open before around kind of the emotional impact and kind of the stress of trying to win and carry that weight. And then to go out and play that way, even though the pressure's probably different and the competition's different, I think I would be a fool not to consider that and say it matters when you're thinking about what how Kristen's season might unfold. So, in October, I'm not going to be talking about Jonesboro Open at all. But when I'm talking about Music City Open and how Kristen's starting her season, I think it's a relevant topic. So maybe I'm copping out, but that's just how I feel about it.
What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think obviously they mean something to the players, but I don't know. Like, was it just this weekend? Was like 3 different really big events other than like Jonesboro? Then we had Persimmon, and I want to say we had one other pretty big event, not sure, where it's like they all kind of blend together, whereas the Elite Series, it's like that's the event everyone's at. So that's kind of my take, is that it does matter a lot. And I'm sure, like, to Ben Calloway, I mean, to Kristen is probably just another win. Honestly,
100th win we need to
He
highlight in a
dominated.
minute.
I was going to say,
Okay,
it's
there you go, but
interesting. 100th
never mind
win,
then.
highest
But,
rating record
yeah.
ever for an FPO. So they're actually,
So it did mean
and she
something.
posted about
For
how
her.
she like felt. So that's what I'm saying is like,
Yeah.
I think for her, it's probably
So let's
was a
spin
pretty
this.
darn big deal.
There you go.
We'll talk that topic. So I'm not just side skirting it here. We're gonna come back to that topic about Kristen, because that is an aspect of this. Let's spin it around so that the conversation is: does it matter in disc golf? Does it matter in disc golf proper whole? Like that like I go out and play a C tier, it doesn't matter. But you have Ben Calloway go out and play this A tier. Does it matter? And I guess in a whole, no. You're not going to see this in the history books. You're not gonna. We don't have Ben on here. Maybe we should have him on here. But my point is, like, the ripple isn't there. Those who are deep in the game are gonna say, "Oh, like I remember Ben won Jonesboro in that off, week of the disc." Like, there are people who will, but in the big scheme of things, this is not one that will stand out. An Elite Series will stand out forever. You'll go, that's how they grade players. Hey, they have 3 Elite Series wins. So I don't think Jonesboro in and of itself matters, but let's go back to the storylines. The storylines are interesting. Ben Calloway plays so good here. He's shredded.
Yeah,
it's
every
only a
year,
2-round event, but I wish we had pop drop block on this because he does it. He pops there like crazy. That's his course. So that's good for him. Let's move over to Kristen, the bigger storyline. Kristen averages or has an event rating of 1,031, which if it stands is the highest ever event rating for an FPO player. Fun question for Ben and Josh. Where does she land in MPO if you take placements by event rating? So just bring her over to the MPO standings.
So you're saying in FPO would be number 1, as you just stated, but like where would that rank in MPO? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, where would she have finished?
Ooh. Oh, where would she have finished at Jonesboro? I see what you're saying.
That makes a lot more sense.
Sorry. I have a lot going on over here.
That's
15.
Fine. 8th.
Good job, Josh. You're a lot closer. It was 7th. She would have been tied with Corey Ellis. 1,031 event rating for Corey Ellis. So Kristen would have been tied for 7th out of a field of 52. She would have been tied for 7th. Now, this brings up another question. But before I bring up that question, I just want to point out, she would have beat out Yakub, Nate Queen, Parker Welk. You could go down the list. Her husband, Silver, he averaged 998. Again, you could go down the list. There are pro players, MPO here. I'm not saying it's the cream of the crop, but you have players that did perform at a high level. Aaron Gossage, Ben Calloway. But I guess what I want to point out here and maybe transition the conversation a little bit, we don't have to get into ratings and event ratings per se. They are a general guideline, and I'm curious of your feedback here. Do you think it translates to MPO? Had she played in the MPO, would she have tied for 7th? Or is this, in your opinion, a rating for FPO and it's different?
It's a rating. That's my opinion. It's a rating for FPO. It is different. I mean, we saw, I think Gavin Babcock posted that recently Owen Scoggins got even on the FPL layout, and it was a better rating than even on the MPL layout. So that's not to take anything away from her. And I think, like, in the future, I think it would be cool to have an FPO separate rating. Like, let's have the FPO field. Let's have Kristen Tatar 1050, and then like Owen 1,030, and then I don't know. I think maybe, I know that's a lot. But
are you trying to say like normalize? So like it would be similar in a sense, like our best MPO is similar in rating point to our best FPO.
Well, it would be like the FPO rating. It'd be specific. So like Kristen's, let's for example be 1050. Obviously, you would have to. It would have to be FPO specific how they play in the field, in their own field. It's
like a bell curve, like you're grading on a curve, kind of.
Yes. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to compare it to MPO. So let's say if they played the same, let's just say they MPO shot even and FPO shot even, same layout, the FPO would be like 1030 and MPO 1000. But it's specifically FPO rating.
I
That makes
understand
sense.
what
I don't
you're
know.
saying. Yeah,
Could be cool.
interesting. Josh, you agree? You think it's stuck to FPO for their rating? Like 1031 doesn't give her 7th in MPO.
I
just
don't
a
know if I
farther
feel.
layout.
Yeah, I know, but it's on average it's 48 feet per hole longer course, and Kristen finished minus 25. Coriolis finished minus 16. So I don't know.
She would
I think
still
it's
do
impossible to
well.
tell.
It's just hard. You can't really compare it. It's the two different
Yeah.
layouts.
It's a what if scenario. Like, what if she played MPO? Would she have? I don't know. Who at the later tee time she might have done absolutely horrible playing in the afternoon. But you know what I mean. Like, not saying that would actually happen, but I think this is where ratings have, and we've talked about this for years in the MPO and FPO division, have kind of been really annoying because the big takeaway is she slaughtered the field, right? She absolutely murdered everyone, regardless of the rating. It could have been the worst rating in the world of like 980 and everyone else shot 890. It doesn't matter. She obliterated the field in what actually matters, and that's how many strokes under par she was compared to the next best competitor. So, but it was an incredible event rating. I will say that. I mean, to go off and do that, it definitely was cool to see, but
Yeah, I don't know when you joined, but the conversation isn't does the rating matter, because we already talked about the accolades of like what she did. It's more does it compare to MPO? Does it translate?
I don't
or do you think
so.
FPO
I was
ratings are
talking about-
technically lower?
I think they're technically lower. But I think that's just kind of how the algorithm works with it. Like I was listening pretty much right when Ben was talking about the bell curve of let's have Kristen Tatar be the FPO version of the 1050 rated player, right? Which she is. She's the best player in the world. And if you take our best MPO player, he's, 1050 somewhat rated. And then you have FPO, which is Kristen, who is 1000 rated. I actually think that's something really, really cool to strive for. The 4-digit number in our mark is kind of what people strive to do. And I think that being the best FPO rating right now is kind of, in theory, it is like, it almost feels the same as a 1050 rated player in MPO. But in FPO right now, it's just at 1000. I also think course design for FPO has gotten significantly better over the years. We've seen courses actually take legitimate strides in making great FPO layouts. MVP Open did that with the diamond layout. Rather than, just here and there, but I think completely separate layouts is really good. And just right now, that's where the rating is. But
So
it's tough because like I'll say this, I don't remember at chess.com, I don't remember exactly what Evelina finished, but the day after chess.com Invitational, we played a flex start and 9 down was 1037 rated. So if an FPO player potentially that weekend had shot around 9 down, 9 down, 10 down, or 9 down, 9 down, 9 down, whatever, it would have been a 1030 average. So as they continue to get better, the FPO field is also getting significantly better. There are more players who are hitting that 1000 rated mark per round, I should say, not the average right now, but per round, they are getting more 1000 rated rounds. So I think in due time, that number is slowly going to creep up, but we won't see the massive 1000 rated Kristen Tatar to 1050 rated Kristen Tatar. I don't think, as long as she's a player, maybe in 100 years, who knows, but
yeah, so that's a good take. Just to follow it up with one last comment. I'm digging here for topics in an off week, to be clear. So if you're wondering why I'm picking and digging so hard on this, because we want to talk, and so here we are to talk. So Paul Macbeth, let's say, back in the day, shows up at an A tier, 2-round A tier. There's only 1 or 2 other top players that join the event, and he beats them by 23 strokes. Does it tell you anything new? Is it impressive? Or are you just like, dude, you just showed up at an A tier with only 2 other top players and you shredded? Yeah, he played better than those 2 other top players. Yeah. But like, I don't want to take away from her performance because it was impressive. But like, what is it about this that stands out to you as like, dang, that was wild or crazy? Like, do you have that take?
Obliterated the field.
I think, yeah,
but I'm asking about the field. There's 12 FPO players. Okay, so let's say 1 or 2 other players showed up. I'm going to make a what if scenario. Only 1 or 2 players there, and she beats them by 23. She obliterated the field, but are you impressed?
Which people are we talking about? Because
So
we
this is what I'm
had
trying to
other
say.
FPO
This is what I'm trying to
pros
say.
there.
There's
Yeah.
only 2 other top 10 players at this event.
Yeah, I think we still say that she obliterated the field because these are players that in the past, like, didn't Kat Mertz win Jonesboro a couple years ago over Kristen Tatar? So, I mean, it's something that has happened in the past, but then coming into this year, she absolutely wiped the field with them. I think one of the best cases you can make about, the Paul scenario you're talking about is Paul used to play Throw Down the Mountain over at Olympus before it even became Olympus. It was just called Throw Down the Mountain. And in 2019, he obliterated the field, and that had not a ton of touring pros, but it had a lot of really good pros. But he murdered everyone. And I think this is the thing we've always talked about is throw an average guy into the Olympics and watch what happens. It's throw a pro player into a local A tier and watch what happens. They're on such a higher level that, especially if you put them on a good course, it's kind of, it's just every single hole is just going to kind of separate and separate and separate.
I'll try to lay this out one more time and I'll drop it. If she wins against this field at Worlds in this fashion, this field at Worlds, are you more impressed than if she does it with everybody there? Or is it the same? You're like, dude, she shot this. It wouldn't matter who is there. I'm just as impressed with her finish here as I would be if everybody was there. Is that how you feel about this performance?
Yeah,
because she did kill it. She did kill it.
Yeah.
So, like, would she have just slaughtered everybody if everybody was there? Is it that good of a performance?
I mean, potentially.
I think it's obvious that if it was the whole FPO field at Worlds and she did the same thing, it'd be much more impressive. Because
why though? This is I'm trying to understand what this is, because if she does this regardless of who's there, isn't it the same performance?
Like, it's
golf.
No, it's not the same performance because let's say you put 100 people, she has 100. You have 90 more competitors you got to go against. You don't know that 99th competitor could have beat her. So it's more impressive the more competitors you go.
You think someone would have beat her with that score this weekend?
Possibly. We can't
tell. What if someone did?
That's what I'm saying. It could have been close. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why it'd be more impressive. The whole FPO. It's like asking, like, is it more impressive if LeBron James beat Kobe Bryant? Well, rest in peace, Kobe. LeBron James beat Steph Curry 101 or Brian Scalabrine? It's probably more impressive when
Don't
Steph
you go
Curry.
trashing on the White Mamba.
Yeah. Matt, like, I definitely understand like what you're asking. I think it's a fun discussion. I think there's other factors outside of it, which we've talked about before, I think on this show, if not elsewhere, but is players approach events differently as well. And that is a factor you have to like consider. Like every player is not getting up the same level as they are for a major. Now, to me, that doesn't discredit. I mean, honestly, a 23-stroke victory.
It's insane. No matter who.
For other against other players, some of which we consider to be like in the top 10 or top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Is like it's incredible, and I think you're acknowledging that, and that's why it's a discussion point. But it's like it's unbelievably incredible. It probably was one of those weekends where you're just feeling it, and maybe she wouldn't have been beat anywhere. But it's also like I can't then apply that and say, like I don't know. It would be different at a different event, both Elite Series, Pro Tour, and then majors, and we see that in FPO and MPO. And we've had players like Ricky Wysocki in the past make statements, this is my perspective at least, that it's the culmination of the full year together that matters more, right, than particular events like Worlds or majors. But then everything that every player does, by the way, including Kristen, they approach the big events differently. They talk about them differently. They prepare differently. They orient their entire schedule around the big events differently. They set their goals around the big events. So that's just why I have to think about the big events totally differently than something like this. And so for me, I'm like, I don't know, there could be factors, and I'm making this up, but it's like maybe the other players didn't care to win as much. Maybe Kristen, because of her off week, was super motivated. Like there's just so many factors that this event is different. Kristen's not as upset if she loses this event as she does when she lost the weekend before. So, and by the way, I'm saying that, I don't know. Maybe Kristen did care a lot, and that's the point, right? That's
it's almost like a revenge weekend. Like, right. Hey,
Right, but Nick, like now we're probably really kind of beating a dead horse,
Really
which is
going
always a
to-
fun metaphor. But like really, if I'm a really good basketball player and I have a really like bad, let's say I'm in a league and I have a really bad like game. So then, right, Nick, I go out and play pickup ball the next night on the court and mop up like I because they're like the middle schoolers, right? And I just torch them. And that's not a fair comparison here. I'm not saying like Silva and Rebecca and Kat are middle schoolers. I'm just saying the point is like it's all about like what's the event you're in. Like the event you're in is what matters. So that's a stretch to compare that to here because I think Kristen went to a top tier A event with some top tier players and didn't beat them by 6, beat them by 23. It's honestly it's outrageous. Have you ever had a disc golf round like that? I don't mean at that level, but like relative to your performance. I had one time in a league night where like by the end, the guys on my card were like, they thought that it was the most bizarre thing they've ever witnessed because I could not miss.
The only thing I can think that's comparable, and thank you for those comments. My job is to get people talking, and we just talked for too long on it. But the only thing comparable, and my best friend growing up still today, that would have anything to say about that is I played a round of mini golf. No lie. I had 10 hole-in-ones.
Mini golf.
And it was not like, I don't know, those little cheesy little putt-putt, like flat board, like
10
putt straight.
hole-in-ones is
Like it was an actual like mini golf course. We were traveling across the U.S. with I think it was with my parents or with my dad and his dad. And we went out late after a hotel, whatever. Anyways. He just gave up at some point. He's just like, what? Everything's going on. I'm like, what? I won't even try again. I just hit and it goes in. Now, if I did that, again, we don't want to take anything away from her. We've talked about it long enough. Josh said a lot of good stuff. Nick, Ben, thank you for your input on that. She had an incredible performance. I'm just curious, what did it mean? It just means that she's good. Just means that she's good.
Lastly, we can kind of talk about it. What does it mean for the other FBO players? The Silva, the
this
Rebecca
is hard
Cox,
because to Josh's point, they might not care.
The same thing.
They might not have actually cared.
Do you think so?
It's possible.
Well, I think, of course, they care.
They care. They care.
They care a lot, right? Like Cat Merch posted about it, et cetera. They all care a lot, but they don't care as much as they do for a major and elite series.
But yeah, so I'll agree with that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, dang, I didn't just get smoked. I got the smoke. Like I got obliterated.
Yeah, I think it's a factor.
Do you think that's...
But is it because Kristen played so good, or they played so poor, or it's a little of both?
I think it's a little bit of both. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Silva's last round, she was playing great, literally until the last hole. She took a quadruple bogey, and so
quadruple in the last 3 holes. But she would have still been beat by
exactly. She still would have been beat by a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, was it bad play by everyone else, or was it just absolutely? And we can tell the ratings do show us some positive things, and we can tell that Kristen did play stellar this weekend. She played absolutely incredible. Yeah.
In MPO, we said it, but let's make sure it's clear. Congrats to Ben Calloway on winning an event that, I'm being sarcastic. We don't know if it matters or not. Matters to him. And then Aaron Gossage, by the way, finishing second, but a minus 15 in that bogey-free last round. And when we say that, not bogey-free, because there's 24 holes and he had 2 bogeys in the last 9. Still a 15 down round. Pretty incredible. Anyway, there was another event this past weekend too. And let's not have the same debate, although it kind of always looms, which is like, do these events matter? Really a different twist on this. Matt, are you going to interject?
Well, I was just
something?
going to say Aaron Gossage doesn't have he doesn't have an elite series, does he? Okay, just wanted to make sure before.
No, he almost has a world.
Stat check that because he's so good. I think he is the best player right now to not have one. Like if you look at
as soon as when Ezra got a win, I think immediately Aaron popped into that.
So
that category.
I'm bringing it up, and I said I wouldn't. So if he won this event, do you think he would have been like, "Yeah, chip off the shoulder"? No, absolutely not.
No, that's kind of the point. Yeah,
exactly. So, anyways, not to take anything away, but what does it mean?
Still a confidence boost.
Yes,
it's a confidence boost being able
Kristen
to go and yeah, exactly. But I mean, even still, like for Gossage, it's like, okay, what worked really well for him that weekend? Potentially putting could have been absolutely incredible for him. So going into Music City Open, it can be, hey, what did I do last week that really, really worked out and clicked? it is a confidence boost. Getting a win regardless, whether it's a C tier, B tier, A tier, elite tier. I don't know about elite series and majors, but I'm assuming it's a pretty good confidence boost when you get a win out there. So going into now an elite series event that in the MPO division has a winner that's gone back to back, you got to play your best out there. That could have been a pretty confident weekend. Now, at the same time, it could be like, dang, I lost it in the last 6 holes. You know, this could also come down. Aaron Gossage might get second place at Music City Open. It may falter at the end. And it's kind of like just getting that over that hump, essentially. I think C tiers, B tiers, and A tiers are really, really good training for top level pros when it comes to maintaining a lead, when it comes from coming from behind on a lead, you know, a chase card victory, whatever. I think those tournaments have a really, really good mentality for top level pros going into the big events. Now the courses 99% of the time are a lot different. Like Jonesboro used to not be a 27 hole layout. This year it was a 27 hole layout for this tournament. But yeah, I think it's helpful and beneficial regardless. I think this gives Ben Calloway a lot of confidence going into Music City Open.
Pick him as a pop. Pick him as a pop. Everybody.
Potentially, yeah.
Is that your strategy, Nick? I'm not going to follow it if it is.
No, not this week. Not this week.
All right. So speaking about momentum, I'm going to move us along. I don't think we're going to go nearly in as depth. In fact, I guarantee we won't. Go Throw had another event this weekend, and practically speaking, they're mostly not on purpose, but they've kind of acknowledged they're catering to the MPO field. Just I think resources and allocation and coverage, they're just not ready to expand deep into the FPO field. So mostly MPO, although there were some other players, but. It has been a while since we've seen him win an event, which is Kevin Jones, taking down Heimberg and Gannon Burr. So there's 2 premier names sitting right behind him. So congrats to Kevin. And then in FPO, like Smiley, a name we barely hear, Guerrero, barely hear, at least on our normal Elite Series coverage. And then Emily Weatherman, who is a winner and is not really popped off yet this year, but coming in 3rd place. So fun to see Go Throw. We've talked about it before, how we actually think it's a pretty cool, fun tour. I think we're still waiting to see how it really plays out season long. But it's fun to see players. They've obviously doing a good job, catering to these MPO players to come and show up. And I'm sure it's good competition, non-sanctioned. I think the vibe is quite a bit different, and it doesn't allow us to have these ridiculous debates about ratings, which is awesome. But anyway, just thought I'd mention that.
For that one.
Yeah, I know, which is a whole nother debate.
I'm just kidding.
But interestingly enough, I think, Nick, before you joined, I had made a similar point that you echoed, which is the events may not matter in the grand scheme of year performance, but they do matter everything from momentum, how the players feel, ironing out the wrinkles and the kinks in their game. And somebody like Kristen and Ben Calloway talk about, they're feeling good. Right? They just proved they can win. So I think the same thing probably for Go Throw is hey, for Kevin, it's been a while. I'm sure that feels pretty darn good to beat Calvin and Gannon.
Over really good players.
Yeah, and does that do anything? I guess that's the open question. Yeah. I don't know if anybody has opinions, but congrats to them. Just thought I'd mention it since it's it is an off week, but these are the events that our players were tackling. So
I think it should help him. Just kind of talking about Kevin Jones right now, you would think in this scenario that is a great confidence boost. That's probably his biggest win so far being on Innova. It might even be his only win so far being on Innova. But this could be a confidence boost. It should be going into Music City Open. Now, will it be? Who knows? But in theory, that's what I would like to think that's how this should help him out. So, and like you said, it's a stacked field. Now, when you say they're kind of catering to the MPO side a little bit more, I might have missed something early on. How do you mean by that? Are we just talking about post-round production?
They offer both fields completely, right? So they're inviting everybody to come compete. But yes, mostly post-produced coverage. I even think optimizing course layouts to FPO. A lot of these courses have those layouts, but just resource capacity-wise, I think they're acknowledging this is their first year into this model, and they just haven't been able to make promises to the FPO field. And so as a result, you're seeing less attendance.
What you're seeing, I don't want to rant too hard here, but what you're seeing is the struggles of a startup. So the Disc Golf Pro Tour went through the first year iteration where almost none of this stuff was existent that we've come to expect in the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Then you have Go Throw decide, hey, we're going to try to do a tour here. They've had a good model to look at, and they want to tweak it and do their own. But man, if you were to look back, whoever's been around for a while to see how the Pro Tour started, it was even way more bare bones than what the Go Throw is doing now. So, but I also want to go to this other side. I see people online talking about Go Throw and saying, man, it's a little bit of struggle to find coverage, this, that. The coverage is easy, YouTube. On the website, it's a little weird. Where's the live scoring? Where's it? Okay. And some people say, hey, let's bring back UDisc Live. I wish they would. And people have been saying that to the Pro Tour. You're going to get to my point here in just a second. They've been saying that to the Pro Tour ever since they moved on from UDisc Live. Like, oh, bring back UDisc Live, or whatever, right? And now they're saying that about Go Throw. I really wish they would bring back UDisc Live. Come on. You don't just bring back UDisc Live. Do you know how much money that costs? UDisc Live charges a premium for that. I'm talking
per round.
Okay. I don't know what the full contract looks like, but tens of thousands of dollars. I will put it at that. Why do you think the Pro Tour and others moved from that? Not because the product wasn't great. The product was fantastic. It's a lot of money. And at the end of the day, if someone, let's say PDGA or whoever else, Statmando, can put together a product that's even comparable and it costs them way less and they have better business, as a result of it, that's a better business decision. You have to account for all things, obviously, fans, ease, all that stuff. But all I'm trying to say is Go Throw can't just bring back UDisc Live unless UDisc Live decides to donate their product. So anyways, I wish nothing but the best for them, but it's just going to be I don't want to say a struggle bus. It's a startup. It's going to take a while, take a few years at that.
Yeah. This is where kind of the keyboard warriors, the really, really loud people on the internet kind of become intense. Like I remember I was scrolling through Facebook a weekend or two ago at one of the Elite Series events and people were saying how difficult it is to find live coverage for, DGN. You got to click on this, you got to click on that, you got to click on this, and then you got to click on that. I'm like, bro, I literally hit the Open at Austin tab and then I hit the Watch Live tab, and then guess what? I'm watching live disc golf. It's 2 clicks, technically 3, because I had to click the Disc Golf Network app. So it's click 1, Disc Golf Network app, click 2, Open at Austin, click 3, Watch Live. It's not that difficult. It maybe takes a total of 10 seconds, depending on the Wi-Fi that I'm on, but it's really not difficult. People are kind of like, well, there should be a big Watch Live now button at the center of the homepage, whatever. It's just, you're not going to make everyone happy. That's what I've learned just in business in general, but also very much so in disc golf business, whether it's running a tournament, playing a tournament, or just, running any sort of business side to it. You're not going to make everyone happy. And so it's what's best case scenario. And I think, Matt, you were kind of saying it perfectly is, PDGA switching to PDGA live scoring, I think was an incredible business move on their part. It keeps everything in-house. They're not spending so much money to be able to run this. They developed and built a team. They bought a team to be able to do this. And then same thing with the Go Throw Tour. It's literally in its first stages of it. And we are so far ahead of where we were before. I think kind of what threw me off guard, threw me into a little bit of a loop was when, Josh was saying they kind of cater towards the MPO side a little bit right now, which I totally understand. Resources, it's the first year. This is also something that the Disc Golf World Tour did back in the day, and they catered only to the MPO field in the sense that there was no FPO division. Yeah. It's a lot. And then UC's thing with that is, hey, we're going to shut down the tour for a bit. We want to make sure that when we come back, we are bigger and better than ever. And guess what literally has never come back is the Disc Golf World Tour. So
I don't want to have a prediction. I don't want to have a prediction, but a lot of startups don't end successfully.
Yeah.
I'll just say it at that. We can root and cheer for them and we can try and watch. But at the end of the day, the viewers, the people, the fans are probably going to decide the fate of this. So we'll see what keeps happening.
I know this wasn't even really a topic, but the statement you made is right, but I'm not quite sure the take on the Go Throw Tour is exactly what it is. So maybe we can save that. But just to drop what I'm hinting at is they're really, they're a media product that's leveraging other events. And these events themselves are not startups, right?
The events are all, but they're being leveraged in a way for a startup.
Yeah, right. But it's basically for media coverage and it's a way to get the big players there. And so that, and I don't even know if they're trying to accomplish.
But so is the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's the same.
Right, but the Disc Golf Pro Tour is they're Go Throw says they're not trying to be the Disc Golf Pro Tour, right? Unsanctioned events, kind of low key.
They're different.
Throw back to the hippie vibe.
It's like McDonald's and Wendy's. Wendy's isn't trying to be McDonald's, but at the end of the day, you decide what you like better.
We'll see.
Yeah.
that's all.
Kind of my question is, maybe we asked Luke this, I totally forget, but like, what is the point? Is the point to kind of bring back that low key environment, the vibe of it,
low key environment, fill the schedule out between events for players who want to compete, hit up the top courses that can't show live covers, the Pro Tour can't highlight, but that are incredible. Like a lot of those things were kind of behind it. And to be honest, I think they're kind of just trying and growing as they go. Like this isn't like a full baked business plan with investor capital, right? It's like, hey, we're already on the road. We've got cameramen. We have a media platform. These events are out here. Players would like to play them. Why would we not do a tour?
And I will say, and it's really, really good showcasing courses that do struggle with the live coverage. There are so many incredible courses out there that location-wise, they're in horrible spots.
That's part
service-wise, and I'll even say this from, completely biased opinion, but Cactus Rock is one of the best courses I've ever played. It's being built. It's absolutely incredible, but they have no service out there. You go out there and your phone pretty much shuts off. It's the best feeling in the world. It's awesome, but you would never obviously be able to run a Disc Golf Pro Tour event out there because of that specific reason. Yeah. So in that regards, I love those thoughts and ideas of what the Go Throw Tour is then.
If they get the right players, and this is coming from a show who tries to get players on our show. If you get the right players for your media, you'll get the views. If you don't have Gannon Burr sign on, Calvin Heimberg, and a few others, you're not going to get the views. You'll get some, for sure. People produce disc golf coverage all the time, and in off week, people are looking for something to watch. It will be interesting if the players find it of value, and to your point, Josh, off week, but right now it's an off week, and you're not seeing a lot of them go there, but it's also a first year. We got to watch. I don't think it's a big enough news topic that we just gave it. I think it's just interesting to look at, and we'll just see as it goes forward what happens.
Yeah, it's more interesting. It's not giant news. There are a couple events in, so it's like I was just saying, the tour is cool. Let's watch it.
It's first year in, and then also one of the biggest stuff. Like yesterday, I was just hanging out with Simon and his family, and like Simon's a family man. He goes home after a 2-week stretch in Texas. He doesn't want to go to a third event, whether it's an ATR at Jonesboro or a Go Throw event over at Persimmon Ridge. He would rather go home to his family right now, but that's also probably one of the most marketable people in all of our sport right now. Same thing with Paul Macbeth. Spends 2 weeks out in Texas, has a kid and a wife over at home in Jacksonville, Florida, wants to get back there for a little bit, take some time off, but that's another huge notable name in the sport of disc golf. And so
what about AB?
I was just going to say AB, but I'm pretty sure AB was celebrating his 3-year anniversary with his girlfriend. So, I mean, there's reasons why certain people.
But would he have done that? Would he have done that if it was Champions Cup?
No, gosh, no, because there's so much more weight to Champions Cup than an unsanctioned event.
So this is only if it just happens to work out for players. They're not putting it on their calendar because they're like, it's on my calendar, marked with a big star, like I'm playing that event. It's like, well, it works. It's in between. I'll go. I don't know. That's where they're at right now.
I think that's most. But the other thing is like first year tour. Okay, if I'm a Team Discraft rated or a Team Discraft Elite Series Elite Team player, and I say, hey Bob, what's my bonus for winning a Go Throw event? And Bob says, dude, there is no bonus for a Go Throw event. I might say, you know what? I'm going to take that week off. I'm going to go home, kind of relax and rejuvenate, whatever. Also, I might go to Jonesboro because Jonesboro, I do have an A-tier bonus structure. So there's a lot of different reasons why certain players are probably not going to those events right now. There's also a lot of reasons why players are going to those events right now. You have the people who, whether it's FPO or MPO, who are just van lifers. They are 52 weeks out of the year. They are pretty much on the road in their van, going from event to event to event to event. And so for this, it's absolutely perfect for them. For the guys who do have the luxury to be able to kind of fly in, fly out of events, for them right now in the sport, the old guys, the 30-year-olds right now who always complain about too many events, they use it as a week off.
Yeah, and to be honest, a decent handful of those players would have played an event no matter what. Mm-hmm. Like literally, a lot of these players were just finding the random A tiers and B tiers and sometimes C tiers anyway to fill these weekends. So, and then last thought is too, it's possible that some of these players who have media coverage portions of their contract might be able to actually, even though it's a non-sanctioned event, I don't know if that comes into play, but they may be able to say, look, I made it on coverage. So a lot of interesting factors. I think we'll continue to watch.
Have we riled up anybody enough to where they want to call in and give their take on that? Like,
Ooh.
we will not. I don't think we'll
Have we said
rebut.
anything that's upsetting?
No. Although I wanted to correct something Nick said earlier. He said you can't make everybody happy, but I'm pretty sure we on this show, Nick, like, I don't know, everybody's always happy with our product in our takes.
That's partly where this is coming from. I get it firsthand in a lot of ways, and I'm not as big as anybody else. It's just, no matter what you do, I'm keeping some of it to myself, but here we go. Like, they do voiceover, right, for their coverage that just came out, Persimmon Ridge. Did you notice? It's Gannon and Calvin. Two people that you think that should be interesting. It is interesting. It's a nice off week. It's interesting to hear those two. They have weird, subtle humor. Calvin's not excitable, the whole thing. But it's like they're in a room with a microphone set up worse than Nick right now. Like, it's like it's more
He's not
echoey.
wrong.
It was more echoey. Like, it's like they're just sitting in a room, like you're barely like hearing through the corner of the wall or something. And I'm going, but I'm not here. I want to be very clear. I wasn't bringing that up because it's like they're new, they're startup. But I feel like that's something that they probably have on their list of things to do. I'm sure they have 100 things on their list of things to do. So like, I don't want to come off as poo, 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 poo. Like, it's all horrible. It's just the nature of starting up something new.
But so that's where it comes into, like, Matt, you are a media guru kind of person. You know all the technology that goes around with it. You know the nice equipment. So you hear those subtle things. It's like in music, I can hear the bad note that happens.
Yeah.
And I can, say, oh my gosh, they played horrible because of that one bad note. But for someone like me, where I could be watching that and just casually doing stuff at the same time, or maybe sitting down watching it, I might not notice the echoiness of the room or whatever. And so that's kind of where I was getting at, where you can't make everyone happy, because you do have those certain people who their mind just emphasizes certain things like that. The echoey aspect of media or the quality of the cameras. I cannot tell you a single camera that's being used on either the Pro Tour, the Go Throw Tour, or any sort of A tier, but you can tell the differences in how good or bad they are. So it's like, some people, they just hyperfixate on those things.
Yep, for sure. I mean, Stagger Stance is basically still a startup, right? I mean, 2 weeks ago, we had Ben Kinney duct taping a phone to a microphone so we could hear Luke Humphreys coming through on audio. So, you got to do what you got to do. So at the end of the day, I love the grind by both those producing the tour and the players. I don't pay a lot of attention to that tour, but it does give me something to look at, and then it gives us something to talk about. And I don't just mean it as filler; it's actually interesting, right? Mm-hmm. So I love it. Keep doing it, everybody out there. Keep producing tours and players. Keep grinding. Congrats to everybody with big events this past weekend. All right, so in a little bit, we're going to talk about Music City Open. We'll probably do that mostly by way of sharing our picks in Pop Drop Lock. We will get to that in a little bit, but in the meantime, Nick, Matt, and myself have no idea what's coming, except Ben Kinney has said he has something for us. And so if this is awesome, credit to Ben. If it's terrible, credit to Ben. Ben, what are you bringing us?
Is this something that was created for specifically 3 other people, or could we get a live caller to play along?
You can get a live caller. It's a point-based system. It's like Satter Fiction.
If you'd like to play this game, literally call the phone number. Oh, that's Ben. Demonetized.
Now introducing.
No, but seriously, someone could call us and they could join.
Yeah,
I put
call
the
us
phone
right now
number
and
up there.
play.
Yeah, call us right now. Whoever it is, we don't even know what the game is.
So basically, it's going to be a trivia type thing, and then you're going to have to write it on your phone and then show and then track your points, basically.
Fun. We should call someone out in the chat and just tell them they need to call us.
Someone call. Let's go.
All right.
Plus, people who don't call, they can play along in the chat for their own sake anyway.
Absolutely.
But it'd be fun to have someone.
But man, we want to play along with our friends. Instead of them just commenting and chatting, we want them to call up. Did we do enough persuasion? Is someone ringing the phone? No. All right. Okay, Ben. We're still open. The phone line's still open. I put it in the chat, so you got to.
All right. I'll give it. All right. We'll start.
Go.
Come on, guys. Anyways, so.
Hold up. He said, what's the game? JT Disc Golf.
Well, just join.
Just join. He's like, no, not live. It's a trivia game based off of disc golf.
So here's the game. It's who he/she play for. A take on the classic NBA.
All right, we got a caller.
There we go. Finally.
Welcome to Stagger Stance. You just got in through the phone call. Who is this?
Thank God. Hi.
What?
Is this Simon?
It sounds like Simon.
Yeah, it's me, guys. Sorry, I was watching and I had to join.
No. Let's go. Oh, this is kind of
I'm just
rigged,
eating
Ben. He's
my-
going to get everyone.
This was rigged. Ben did this on
My
purpose.
evening snack right now.
Evening snack. Is that avocado on toast?
Close. Tomato on toast with a bit of cheese.
Ooh.
Dude, let's go.
You know what's funny is I asked him if he wanted to come on the show today, and he said no. So I was like, great.
I know. I'm sorry.
Which means,
Kids
well,
are up in bed already.
Oh,
that
right.
probably
Getting
means
up for
he
my flight
doesn't.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Very
nice
nice.
flight. All right,
Oh, man.
so you can play along.
Well,
You probably
hold on. We're gonna play along, but I have to say, like, Simon, you're gonna win MCO again, right? Like, it's your place.
I picked you to win, Simon, just letting you know.
That would be a dream. We'll see what
All right.
happens. It'll be a rainy week, I think, but we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah,
All right, awesome.
but like, how's the body feeling? Like, there's nothing we need to know for our fantasy picks, right? Like, it's not like, oh, my pinky has a huge blister on it or anything, right?
Well, for me, shockingly, the worse I feel, the better. So I feel a bit too good. So that might be a
Oh,
bad
too
sign.
good.
Good to know.
Do a lot of push-ups tonight. You'll feel bad in the morning. Okay.
All right, let's do the game. So I'll explain it. It's who he/she play for. I'm gonna give you a list of players, and you're gonna have to tell me who they are currently sponsored by. Manufacturers only, by the way.
I feel like this is a walk in the park for Simon. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
It
I don't
probably
pay
will be.
attention.
Okay.
And there's gonna be some players that have multiple. Maybe I'll list if they have multiple. Just so I'll list if they have multiple. I'll list how many they have. But without further ado, let's start it. First player. Who does Heidi Line play for / currently sponsored by? Disc manufacturers only, and she only has one.
And we just write this down.
Or just don't. You cannot cheat and just do it mentally in your head. You know.
On my honor, as Ben's friend who turned down $100,000 in Beast Games, I will not lie. I did write it down too. but
So
I'll
tempted to
read it off.
Google, but I'm writing them down. Yeah, nothing.
Let me know when everyone's all set.
I'm locked in. What do you think, Simon? You locked in?
Yeah, I have a guess.
Me too. All right, Ben.
All right.
How do you want to do this?
One
I'll
at a
just
time or
yeah. Give me one at a time. Let's start with Josh. What's your answer?
West Side.
Matt,
West Side.
Nick,
Same. West Side.
and then Simon.
Can I change my answer?
Yes. No one will know.
What did you think? What did you think, Simon?
I thought she was with Clash. No, is that
She
old news?
was. She's with the West Side now.
Oh, she was with
Just
this, yeah.
left
She
Clash.
was.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. You guys got 1 point. Simon, 0.
I like. Can I change my answer? That's what I'm thinking as we're all saying it. I'm like,
Yeah.
everyone's just
There's a few in here, Simon, that favor you. Let's go with Aiden Scott.
Oh,
Who
we're
is he
I'm already
currently
toast.
sponsored for, manufacturer-wise?
Aiden Scott.
Yeah, we're all.
Previously sponsored by Prodigy. That Aiden.
Oh, you're
I
gonna
was
give
gonna
us
guess
the
Prodigy,
previous.
damn.
Yeah, you're gonna give us the previous. That makes it easier, Ben. don't do
maybe I
that.
shouldn't have said
He's
I'm just trying to tell you
eliminated
because
one.
there's Evan Scott, Evan Smith.
There's only,
Aiden
there's only
Scott.
one Aiden Scott. Yeah.
Aiden Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know. I think I'm locked in.
I mean, I'm gonna lock in. I have no idea.
I'll go first.
'Kay.
Everyone ready?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Go
Ready?
ahead.
I'm going DD, dynamic disc.
All right.
I'll say Lone Star because
Oh, that's my
honestly,
second.
I don't remember.
I also wrote down DD.
Simon.
Simon.
I also had DD.
Ooh.
Dude, you guys are too good at nothing. Infinite Discs
Okay.
is what he's sponsored
Oh,
by.
that was my first thought.
But does
Yeah.
he? But does he throw mainly DD?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Infinite is his only. All right, we'll go third player. Let's go with Chandler Kramer. Who
Oh,
is
come
he
on.
currently sponsored by? Manufacturer. Just a reminder.
I'm locked in.
Yep.
Oh, I think this just the news was just out there recently, but I don't know. I'm locked in, but I don't know.
Simon, you ready?
I'm logged in, but I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You go first.
Gateway.
I'm going
That's what I'm
Gateway.
saying.
Oh,
Gateway.
the chat is loading up on Gateway. I already wrote Infinite, and that's not right.
Gateway.
The chat needs to give us a little more time so Josh can't read the chat.
Yeah.
No, I already wrote it down.
It is Gateway. Gateway is correct.
So you all got it, but I didn't.
Yep.
All right.
Gateway.
Yeah, keep track of your own points. I'm not keeping track.
I'm
Okay,
keeping
fine.
track.
Let's go with Nicola Castro. Who is he currently sponsored by, disc manufacturer wise?
Now that is a good
That's
one.
actually a really
Oh, wait, I
good
think I
one.
know it. Wait, I actually know it. Oh, wait, what's the name? Oh.
Yeah, we're all doing the same thing, but Simon, you probably know it. You just don't remember.
Wait, do I
it.
have to start?
No.
No.
I don't.
So this is tough because I don't think he can be sponsored by his own line, Sacred Disc. That's not a manufacturer.
That's who I was gonna say. Sacred Discs.
Well,
So
just
I'm
so you
not
know,
saying
I already
Sacred.
wrote that, even though I don't
Yeah.
think it's right.
And I
but
don't
that's my
think he
answer.
announced with Gateway. There's some other one, and this is probably what Simon's stuttering or stumbling with. It can't be Sacred. I'm going to say Gateway, but I don't think it's accurate.
I'm just gonna say Sacred.
Sacred,
Yeah,
Josh.
I have written Sacred Disc down. That's
You do?
that.
What did you
Yeah,
think, Simon?
Oh,
Sacred.
maybe I was thinking of his. I think he just partnered with like a new retail store. I maybe was thinking of that, and I thought they have a couple molds probably, but
Yeah.
I forget what their name was. Also.
It was like
Oh,
he always does something
Mellow
with
Disc.
Flight. Oh,
Yeah,
Mellow.
it's like
Disc.
mellow,
Yeah, that's
mellow
the Pro
mushroom
Shop.
or something.
Oh, yeah, that
Yep.
sounds right.
All right, but what's the answer Ben had? Are we gonna
Ben had
'cause
Sacred
I had
Disc.
Sacred Disc.
His
and I
own line
wrote
can
that.
sponsor himself? Or
Yeah,
you're saying
yeah,
who?
why not?
Of course.
So who
It's in
got
his
it? Because
bio.
I'm keeping track of the score. I wrote Sacred.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote Sacred.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, Matt, because you did say it out loud. But yeah, he has Sacred on his back too.
I said I didn't think it was Sacred because it was his own line. Then I said he didn't sign with Gateway. I don't know what I landed on. I
You
think
can't
at the
be
end I said
sponsored by
Sacred.
your own brand.
Thank you, Simon.
Why
I said-
not?
I'm sponsored by
that
Ben's
defeats the
Tackle
purpose of
Shack. I own
sponsorship.
Ben's Tackle Shack.
I love it.
Like,
It's true.
So who's Climo sponsored
I'm not
by?
sponsored by Simon Line, even though it's on my shirt.
That's a
No,
good
but
idea.
Sacred
though.
is its own manufacturer.
It's a good idea.
Own. Sacred is literally was made by Lone Star. It's its own manufacturer that maybe could sponsor other people. That's why yours is not your MVP's discs. Anyways, whatever. I don't know. Let's
Points
move on.
if you want points. It's up to you if you want points.
I'm keeping
Yeah.
score.
Yeah, let's see if that's a tiebreaker. Then I'll have to do another one. Let's go with Alexis Kerman.
Oh my goodness.
Manny, who is
Wow.
she sponsored by?
Alexis Kerman. This is a
These are people in Brixton disc golf cards. So these aren't like random.
Were you saying, oh my goodness, as in you knew exactly what it was, Matt, or you have no idea?
No, this is like I know the player Alexis Kerman. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I could spot her on the course, but I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have any clue.
I'll start when we're ready. I'm locked in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
just
wrote
guess.
something down.
All right, I have something down.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
Discraft.
You know that? I'm not gonna be swayed. How confident are
All
you?
right, DGA.
I'm
DGA.
100%
Oh,
confident.
all right.
All right, DGA.
I was gonna say Prodigy because it was just shot in the dark.
I'll go Discraft.
You're supposed to pick.
That's all right. He's in last place. We'll give it to him.
All right. It is this crap. He said, "I'll go this crap."
Go.
Oh, that's
That
funny.
is how confident you. I'm like 100%.
All right, let's go with a little easier one, maybe. Let's go, Jake Hebenheimer. Who is he sponsored by?
I know this for sure.
How
I
confident?
think I know this.
Yeah.
I'm
too. I just watched
100%.
him play today. Oh.
Oh, did you watch the
I'll give a
post-round
clue.
production?
I'll give a clue if you're not sure to lock in. He, as a teenager, like a middle-aged teenager, played with this same company.
Middle age.
Really?
Yeah, not
Well,
like
I'm locked
I didn't-
in.
I didn't-
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm
locked
locked
in.
in. I don't know the answer, but
Go ahead, Josh.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Prodigy.
it is Prodigy. Nick.
Prodigy.
Yep.
Prodigy, correct. All right, let's go. Mari Villman. Who is he sponsored by?
Marty Villman.
Mauri, like Mauri. I just can't say it.
Maori.
Mauri.
I don't know.
I wrote something down.
I wrote something down.
I'm locked in.
All right, Nick,
I just wrote Latitude 64.
Matt,
Discmania.
Josh,
Lat 64.
and Simon's
Well,
correct.
you're all wrong. Yeah, it's MVP, folks.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So Simon gets it and we don't.
There you go, Josh. Mark it down. I'm assuming you're taking of everyone. All right, let's do. This person has. I'll say 2 manufacturer sponsors. What are they? Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't get
random.
to
Who
the
has
first
two?
Who's the person?
one. Maria Oliva.
Oh.
All right, I got it.
It
I
could
wrote
be
it in.
3 though. Here's the thing.
Man.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
It could be 3, and I don't know how to count it. But we'll just say 2 to be fair, because you knock at the 3rd.
I wrote an answer now.
Do I get a bonus point if I get the 3rd?
Yes. Half point.
All right. Well, I don't actually have to get a point. But I think I know.
Oh,
the third
wait.
you're
I think I
talking about.
know. I know one.
I'm stuck.
Maria Oliva.
I'm fully
There's
locked in.
2 manufacturers she is sponsored by.
Wait, is Infinite a manufacturer technically? Yeah.
It was earlier.
Technically,
Okay.
yes.
I'm gonna say Infinite.
you.
I feel like there was a time where it was Innova.
Well, what's the other one?
I said Infinite. I don't know what the other one. I don't even know what the first one was.
I wrote 2.
What do you think,
Right.
Simon?
I'll go Thought Space. Thought
Oh.
Space.
I got the wrong
And?
one.
Thought Space and Infinite? I don't know.
Okay. Josh.
Okay.
I wrote Innova and Thought Space.
All right. Infinite Thought Space Trash Panda.
Oh, Nick closest. She is sponsored by Infinite Discs,
Oh.
Trash Panda. That's who I was thinking of.
She dropped Thought Space this year, didn't she?
She dropped Thought Space.
That's
yeah.
right. Dang it.
So she's
Mm.
so whoever said Infinite and
What?
Trash Panda gets a point each. But she's also sponsored by Visionary Disc Golf Nets
Oh.
that has their own mold, the Amethyst.
Wow. Did not
But-
know that. Free advertisement
Yeah.
for Visionary Nets. Wow.
Yes, they
So
have
only-
one mold, their own mold. So, but we'll give
So
it.
only Nick
Infinite
gets a
Disc
point.
Trash
He's the only one who got 2.
I said, oh, no.
Or do we? Yeah,
Infinite.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
I said Infinite and Trash
Well, no,
Panda,
no,
but I got
no,
it
no.
wrong with Thought Space.
I was thinking you just get a point for each one you get right?
Oh,
Yeah, because everyone was said Infinite, so Nick would get 2.
okay.
Some like Simon and Matt would get 1. I don't know.
Right,
Anyway,
right when I said Thought Space, I was like, wait, I think she dropped them. But
all right.
I
let's
would've
go
never guessed the Visionary.
with Luke Sampson. Who is he sponsored by the manufacturer?
ooh, this
We
is
only-
a great one, actually.
We got a few more. I really went hard on that. I was actually working on this during the
I'm
show.
locked in on this one.
I am not locked in.
All right. I think I am.
Oh,
It took me a minute.
Samson.
Oh, it's a struggle bus, but I think I have it locked in.
All right.
Simon, you ready?
No, wait. Give me like 10 more seconds. Sorry, I'm stalling.
We'll give you some.
I'll give you 10 more.
While he's thinking
Five.
about it, Simon showed me his new guitar that he got, and it's this acoustic guitar that you can do
Ooh.
looping right from the guitar, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
That
It
is
was
pretty cool.
fun toy.
very, very
Very
cool
fun
to see.
toy.
yes.
Simon, you've had enough time to Google the answer.
I'm not cheating. I don't like.
The chat's like
I
maybe.
don't like.
Okay. So any guess then? We're gonna put you
All
up.
right, I'll just guess. Prodigy. I don't know.
Prodigy.
Oh,
Nick.
Rodiscus.
Josh.
DGA.
I'm going to say castoplast.
Prodiscus is correct.
Oh,
Prodiscus?
So Nick
Yeah,
got
it was
it.
a
He was
recent
Castoplast last
time.
year, and then he just signed with Prodiscus again.
My God, I need to and I listen to disc golf podcasts too, and I still don't know all this. It's just so sad.
Don't you have your own disc golf podcast now?
Yeah, I guess. Oh,
Awesome.
I feel embarrassed now.
No,
Sorry.
this is how it feels. I feel embarrassed half the
I
time.
to pick the most obscure ones that no one would know because either they just left or it's just like a Prodiscus. They just went to Prodiscus. It's so random.
Can you pull up an easy one like Simon Lizotte?
All right, let's pull up an easier one. Let's go with Deanne Carey.
Easier? Oh, yeah, it is easy.
I actually know this one.
Yeah, it took me a second, but
All right, we all locked in?
Sure.
everybody say Prodigy.
Yeah,
Prodigy.
on
Oh,
three.
I didn't get it right.
Oh, what did you
Okay,
say?
I'm losing. I didn't remember the answer. I said Innova.
Someone else in the
I don't
chat said
remember.
Innova
Did she
as well.
used to be sponsored Innova? Her husband did. That's what
Yeah.
like.
They were
that
sponsored
was my
Innova a while
connection.
Yeah. So AJ Carey and Deanne are both on Prodigy now.
I remember it now that you've said it, but that doesn't.
Let's go another sort of easy one. Like Lawrenson.
Leake?
Like.
Lucky.
All right, I wrote an answer down.
Huh. I'm going to probably not be right, but if everyone's locked in enough, I'm going to say Prodigy.
Where?
But I don't think it is.
All right, we'll wait a couple seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, wait,
the
yeah.
chat. If you look at the
I
chat,
should
he's
really
got
know
a
this.
tip.
I should really know this.
Well, don't go with Prodigy.
No, it's not Prodigy.
Dang
it's,
it.
He was sponsored by
I
Prodigy
can't think.
previously.
I can't think. Yeah, just guys go ahead. I'll just guess at the end.
All right,
Thought
Josh.
Space. Oh,
Innova.
sorry.
Innova?
Thought Space and Innova was the guesses. What do you think, Simon?
Ah.
I'll go Latitude. It's wrong.
Thought Space
It is
is the
Thought
correct
Space.
answer.
Who got it right?
I did.
Nick did.
Nick did.
Oh man. So Nick's killing us.
How many points do you have, Nick?
The
7?
one game.
6?
I have no idea. Josh said he was
No,
keeping
I
score,
think
so I
I
stopped.
think I've kept track. Nick has 10. Matt,
Oh.
you're 7.
Wow.
Simon has 6, and I have 3.
Oh my goodness. All right. I got 2 more.
I also
Yes,
just saw
same-
most of all these people.
Yes, say Neiman.
Yes, eh.
So like this is a really hard one for me.
Yeah.
I know it if you didn't switch. You probably switched, right? Is that the game that's all people who switched?
That's what it feels like.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it hard.
I'm gonna-
Well, then
Well, then who were you thinking that he didn't switch from?
I was thinking Costaplast.
Oh, I thought Discmania.
That's what I said, Discmania.
I wrote Discmania.
Uh-oh, we all said Discmania except for Simon.
Simon is correct.
Oh,
It is
Simon Tour
What?
Man.
Big time.
It is Castoplast.
No more
Yeah.
embarrassment.
All right. Last one.
Last one.
This is 3. If you can get all 3, you get 5 points. Whoa, I made up the rules. If you can get all 3,
Steve Falco.
you get 5 points.
Yeah.
But if you only get 2, then you get 2. Eric Oakley. He has 3
I think I have 2 of
Plastic.
them.
manufacturers.
Is Whale Sax one of them?
No.
Discs.
Okay.
Only discs.
Well, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm
I
wrong,
think
but
I
I'm
got all
ready.
3. I think I got all 3. It just clicked with me.
I know.
Please.
No way.
But I'm
That
good
will
to
be
go.
last.
I think. Okay, so Josh, go.
I just wrote Infinite and Thought Space. I don't know.
Nick.
I kind of want to change my last one, but I'm not going to. But I'll say Infinite Thought Space Trash Panda again.
And Simon.
I'll go Infinite, Thought Space, and Clash.
I'm going Infinite, Thought Space, and Another Round.
It is Clash.
Disc manufacturer.
Oh, I thought I see him wearing Another Round.
He is
Yeah,
sponsored
but
by
they're
them.
not.
Yeah,
They're not a manufacturer.
Pros are sponsored by like 20 different companies. If we
I
did
forgot that
then we'd be-
rule. I just figured I know his sponsor.
It's fine. You guys wouldn't have got it. It's Infinite Thought Space is correct. Last one is Birdie.
Oh yeah,
that's
Birdie
new,
does have
you're
some
right.
discs from back in the day. Yeah.
So the Birdie used to be just a pro shop sponsored like Ricky and Casey, but now they started getting into discs. So it's Birdie
Yeah, I
sponsored.
have seen him wear that logo. I agree. You
So-
are not lying.
Before we let
Thank you,
Simon
thank
go, two things. Harry Chase just jumped in the chat. It's his obviously rookie year on tour. I saw you and him in a couple of the vlogs you do. How's he doing out there on the
Nice.
road? How's he doing on the road, Simon? Our friend Harry.
I mean, Harry's a treasure.
Yes.
He must be protected. I love him. I think he's going to do great. And everyone needs a warm-up year, and he might be faster. We'll see.
All right, cool. What do you have to say about that, Harry? Give us a comment. All right. And then the other thing is someone said, hey, you need to give a plug for your podcast on our podcast. So, like, is this something you do regularly? I haven't tuned in a lot, but tell us more about it.
Yeah, I mean, preseason we were on a good schedule, but now that it's kicked off, it's been pretty tough because we're all usually in 3 different time zones and 3
Yeah.
completely different schedules. And we're trying to do one a week on the same day, but sometimes it might be a day off. Sometimes we might skip a week, or sometimes we might do 2 per week. So it's a bit chaotic, but that's what crushed pepper is, I guess. It was chaotic.
I love Crushed Pepper in general. I mean, it's great on everything. So cool podcast name.
Yeah.
And obviously you and others, it's Joey and Eagle, correct?
Yeah, me, Joe Eagle.
Perfect. Great
We're
hosts
probably going to
for a
record
podcast.
again this week in Nashville.
Sweet.
Harry says in the chat, see you tomorrow, Simon. See you tomorrow.
Oh,
So,
also shout out, Simon just released an In the Bag. Go check out what he's throwing on his channel, I believe. There you go.
Hell yeah. Thank you. And Ben, I'll see you at your wedding in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Ooh, right around the corner.
It's like 10 days. So Simon's going to get boogie on the
10
dance
days.
floor and let Natalia know, like have my family's Puerto Rican. So she's going to feel at home with some of the music.
That's a great point. Yeah, I'll let her know. She'll be excited.
awesome.
She'll know some classic songs that no one else will know. So it'll be a good time.
And then the day after is Team Challenge finals.
Oh my goodness. You're playing?
Yeah, he is.
Of course I'm playing.
That
I
is
worked my butt off to qualify.
That's awesome.
I hope we get matched up in the end, Simon. You versus me. It's a throwaway match. It'd be fun, but it'd be a throwaway.
Wait, you're in the finals?
Yeah, dude. 2 buff, baby.
You're on
April.
2 buff?
Yeah, dude, for
Yeah.
the last like 7 years.
Oh, wow. I am not paying attention to anything in life.
That's okay. The
amazing.
our neutral yeah, because you pay attention. I don't post a lot about it. If you were at the neutral match at mile marker, the course you designed, I think you were probably feeling a little off or something, but you weren't there. Maybe we would have seen each other, but
Yeah, I missed it because it was like 4 days after my surgery.
oh,
Mm.
surgery.
More on
Surgery.
that.
Hope you recovered well after that life-changing surgery. Hope everything's well.
Yeah, it took a couple months, but I'm back.
He's back. Cool. All right. Well, then, yeah, we'll see you at Team Challenge Final and the wedding. Man, there's a lot going on. Never too busy.
Oh, and yo, actually, I can announce it. Everyone in this call right now, other than me, will be at the same table. There you go.
Boom.
Sweet.
At the wedding.
You announced
badass.
Oh.
we do table announcements.
Yeah. And at table 7, sponsored by
best
Team
table.
Discraft, Nick
Yeah.
Carl.
So you guys will all be at the
I'm
same
looking
table. I
forward to
made
the
sure. I
speeches.
made sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good to have you, man. Thanks for joining. We'll let you go.
Thanks for
Have a good
joining.
evening, dude.
All right, guys.
Good-
Good night. Thank you.
Good luck this
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Good luck this week.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yep.
Thank you.
Dude, we just hang up on him. Harry said in the chat, I'll give an answer on how my season is going after this weekend. It would currently have too many curse words.
Oh,
Harry, no.
So
But
Harry,
I think,
no.
but I mean, I don't remember all of his placements right off the rip, but Harry is a phenomenal player. So I think it's just kind of like that high standards, high regards right now. But if we take the Paul Crans, the Casey White, the Harry Chase right now, I think technically speaking, Paul Crans is kind of averaging the best out of those three, right? Like, can we get a tracker throughout the year, a friend
yeah,
tracker?
I said I
feel
wanted to
like-
do that.
Yeah.
Can I?
Like
Now this is kind of
the
so. This is what we do on our show. We talk about players, how they're doing. It's a little weird sometimes to do it about your friend or teammate. Harry's coming back, I think, for. Nick's like,
and
I
Paul
do
are
it
both
about
coming
Paul
back
Macbeth
from
all the
finals.
time. But here's my take with me knowing that Harry's sitting here listening, and I'm not doing it like I'm talking to Harry. But my actual thoughts are something. It's a new tour for him, but something seems a little bit off. Like all I watch is vlogs. Maybe it's because I'm not used to seeing you vlog, Harry. But like something seems a little bit different about you than just like the regular, like you're comfortable, New England, you're competing, it just feels different to me. And I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing because what it tells me is once he settles in, it's going to be like, watch out.
Harry
everybody.
Cash.
The
Harry
first
Cash
year-
all day, baby.
The first year on the road is the hardest year. You're learning all the courses. They're a lot more difficult than any of the local courses that you play at home. Fortunately, we get to play Maple Hill, so you can go play Golds whenever you want. But 99% of the courses are harder than everything else that we have to play around here, or maybe where Harry grew up playing, whatever. You're learning everything. You're living out of a van, a car, Airbnbs. You're sometimes showering over at Planet Fitnesses. You're struggling to keep the same diet that you were keeping. You're not sleeping in your own bed. You're sleeping in the backseat of a car, whatever. So the first year on the road is the most difficult. That's definitely outside of your comfort zone, whatever. But yeah, I think he's a baller. We know he's a baller.
I don't think
We've
it's
seen
the
what he can do. So
Harry, you can comment if I'm incorrect here. I don't think it's the difficulty of the course that's beating him. Obviously, that ties in.
I don't think it's
I
not
think his skill
necessarily
level's
the difficulty.
plenty high.
It's the comfort of
Yes.
being on the course. It's
On the
comfort.
road, the whole thing, it's all new, it's all
No, but
fresh.
specifically the course though, being comfortable on the course, they're not the hardest. Like Waco's not the hardest course in the world, but to be comfortable playing it, you get in on Monday, you play
just
Monday,
bring 'em
Tuesday,
in.
Wednesday, whatever. I think that's the tough part of it. Is you got to be so good so that the 3 days where it matters or the 4 days where it matters, you can do that.
Are you comfortable, Harry? That's the question. I mean, you're on the road now, the schedule of every day.
Watch,
like,
he's gonna
how are
say
you?
he's the most comfortable he's ever been.
But
and
literally,
everything I
like-
said, I'm just gonna look like
Yeah,
a
but like,
dumbass.
I'm thinking through, like, if that was me, it's a whole new life shift. Disc golf's not new, but literally, where do you fill every minute of your day? You're on the road. You're not at home. You're not with your normal, regular, everyday friends. You're making new friends. It's this whole, like, you go to college for the first semester and you're like this whole new grind until you settle in. I kind of feel like that's Harry because his ceiling, watch out, everybody. I'm serious. He's a good player. Can't wait to see him back for Team Challenge Finals.
Take him to pop this weekend or else.
Okay, and speaking of Pop Drop Lock, can we do
speaking
that?
of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
we're going to go into Pop Drop Lock because we have our picks ready to be made for Music City Open. This segment is brought by Hooligan Discs. Hooligan Discs. Pop Drop Lock. They ship out a prize every single event to the winner
So swaggy.
of Pop Drop Lock. We have event winners, and we're going to have a season-long winner. I should have mentioned this to Simon. Simon, if you're still listening, remember, we're giving a round to the lucky winner of the season-long standings of Pop Drop Lock, a round with Simon and us at Maple Hill. Sometime in November, Simon. So you didn't overcommit. It's after the tour. Fun fact, we've been teasing it for a while. Our dude, Dave Schreck, guy that's building out this web app for us. If everyone punches in popdroplock.com right now, you will see, if you click on the event leaderboard, come on, everybody, do it. You click on the event leaderboard, you will see now stars. Look, bless my lucky stars.
Ooh.
And what that
You
allows you to do
also-
is favorite your favorites.
Also,
Pretty sick.
we give a lot of credit to Dave Schreck, but I just want to give a shout out to Dave Schreck's wife for making me sourdough s'mores or s'more sourdough at the expo. I crave it every day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you as well. Those stars, by the way, like really don't underrate that, because here's the deal. You go out there and there's hundreds of people playing, 400, 500, 800, 1,000, whatever it is on any given week. And the hosts on this show are kind of highlighted so you can see where we place. And you can easily see where you place because right at the top of the page, it tells you what your placement is on any given week. But this stars, Matt just mentioned it. I'm just driving in on it because this is how it's going to be fun to play with your friends. Much, much easier. So go out there, create a profile. Whether it's the 1 or 2 people you play with every weekend, your favorite foursome, your league friends, whatever it may be. This is a way to actually play against each other while still playing against the entire prop drop block field. You just go out there, find that particular player's username, click the star, and it automatically brings them to the top. And whoever you have starred, if you've got 2 people starred or 10 people starred, it just shows them right at the top of the page. No more scrolling through the 500 names to find where you've placed or where they've placed. Really, really easy. It remembers your selection event to event. It's not on the season leaderboard yet, but each week you can just take a look. Honestly, like obviously the game itself is my favorite feature, but that's probably my favorite user feature because it's just going to make it so easy and fast to play with people you want to play with. Like Matt, like you don't have to tell us, but like if I know your son's like names, I'm clicking.
I was going to ask you what they
so
are.
here
so
it is.
and
You will be
Hunter.
saddened. Everyone can do this. Actually, this could be fun for the listeners. Go in and find helpful jellyfish.
Yep,
3795. Helpful jellyfish. Also find, that's Hunter. Find Sincere Gar, 8519. If you find those, you will see that they're beating everybody. And you can see how you do against my kids. I don't know how they're pulling it off, but
yeah, they're pretty good.
if you look at
making
the
picks
season-long
somehow.
leaderboard, they're leading 1st and 3rd right now. But yes, so you can star them, which I've done. I starred all of us. And here's the one other way I want to pose this feature. If you're a regular player of this, but you have friends who are playing it, or you don't have friends who are playing it, this will make it more fun. We wanted to create originally like leagues where you could do your own private like groups. This is the transition to the possibility of that ever happening. You can do it right here without doing that. You can just star the people you're competing against. They can do the same. You can just keep track of who you're playing against if that matters to you most. So get
Here we
on
go.
there.
I got
star
something as
your
well.
players.
If Simon Lizotte wins for the 3rd year in a row and you win this week's of Pop Drop Lock, I will send you 3 discs from my personal stash as well. But Simon has to win. So there we go.
Ooh.
All right, so the
tell your
winner
friends.
of Pop Drop Lock this week, if Simon also wins, you're sending him 3 discs.
Yes.
All right.
And
So
we'll get the
pick
info.
the best players, win the event, and then root for Simon. And if you pick him in your lock, even easier to root for him. So there you go.
Are we 4 for 4 picking Simon to lock? Because I know I am.
I don't remember what I picked. Let's
I
see.
did.
All right, pull him up.
Let's see. We're going with Nick first.
All right, I've got in my pop category for MPO, Sullivan Tipton. We had him on the show last week. Played great at Open at Austin. I think that's some good points right there. Drop is Evan Smith, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm just hoping for some points right now. Lock is our boy Simon Lizotte going for back-to-back-to-back. The guitar's already got his name written on it. Pretty stoked. Taylor Chosek as my pop for FPO. I think last couple of weeks kind of getting her stride with the tour. Drop Ella Hansen, and it's literally just hopeful for points. And then my lock is Holland Hanley. I think this is another great tournament for her. It's funny because I'm kind of burning out my Holland Hanley and my Kristen Tatar picks or Kristen Lott picks right off the rip right now, which kind of sucks. But they're both playing really well, so kind of gotta go with it. And I need some points. So
Speaking of Kristen Lott, I did pick her for my lock, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. So FPO, Pop, Katrina Allen. There's a glimmer of hope and seeing her with the opportunity to perform even better. My drop is Hannah Wynn. My lock is Kristen Lott. Pop, drop, Lott. No.
it's a good one.
That was, glad you thought so.
That's actually pretty good.
All right. Ben's like, no dad jokes. Okay, so then MPO. Oh, here we go. Jeremy Coling, Pop. That dude's having a rough start, I feel like, to the season. There's a good opportunity. I'm just hoping he can pull it off here. I think this might be a little bit forehand friendly, and I'm elaborating because I know some of our listeners appreciate the inside scoops to help them with their picks. Take a look and see. Lefty or forehand friendly, it feels like in the long run if you look at the list over the past few years. James Conrad to drop. Funny fact, not really a forehand. And I didn't think of that when I made the pick, but there you go. And then lock, Simon Lizotte. I feel like if there's someone who's going to lock it up, whether he wins or not, he's in that contention to do it for sure. Up next, Ben.
So I was sighing because of that, and that's it. Because I'm trying to get separators from you, Matt. I got to beat you.
Well, how do you know what I'm picking? You just got to pick your own players.
I have been picking my own, but that's why we get the same players. I'm going to pick Big Jern the pop. Austin Turner the drop. Just want to get points. He's averaging high. Lock, Simon Lizotte. This is his course, and he shreds the guitar. Pop, Taylor Chosick. My new Madison Walker, maybe. We'll see.
So,
drop, Rebecca Kopp.
Yeah, this is wild, man. We pick so many of the same players, and there's so many players to pick from. Like the Big Germ pick. Like, is it just a shot in the dark there, or like what went into that one?
He's averaging 86 and like got fourth at the event last year. That's my reason. Drop Rebecca Cox, Lot Kristen Lott. That's about it.
Yeah. All right. Am I up?
You are up.
All right. Nick Sullivan Tipton to pop. Yeah. All right. To drop is Adam Hammis. I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's averaging fifth. Just give me some points. And
wow,
then,
we all picked the same pop and lock.
Simon to lock.
We did go 4 for 4. Good.
I know, but it's like, wow. I mean, what is he 2 out of the last 3 years? Right?
Yeah,
is that right?
He's back to back.
Back to back.
Oh yeah. So I was just looking at 3 years. So literally back to back. So three-peat. And then in pop, Missy Gannon to drop Silva Saarinen and lock Lot. So not a lot of creativity in our locks, right?
Hey, I'm going different on the FBO side, so
yeah.
Watch me get these extra.
Yeah,
points
so you
this
can
week.
gain points on us.
Yeah, or I could lose points,
or lose points to every one of us.
Yes, exactly.
Guess we'll see what happens.
Hopeful for the gain.
Yeah, but hey, everybody, just listening to us list names may or may not be exciting for you. But if you go out and list your own names in the app, it'll take you 30 seconds. Maybe more if you want to give it some thought. Put it out there and then go out and star the names on the event leaderboard that you're interested in competing with. I mean, you're competing against all of us regardless. But again, really fun, quick way. Thanks to our developer for finalizing that feature. It's not overly complex, but these things aren't easy because you want the application to work. So thanks to him for putting it out there. It looks awesome. I love it. A lot of fun. To be honest, guys, way more, we're on the show, so we probably promote the game, but I would be way more inclined to have any kind of casual disc golfer friend, to have them go out here, sign up, tell me their name, and say, I'm going to favorite you, because then I can easily text them and be like, I beat you this week or I didn't. It's just way easier to look.
It allows you to play one-on-one if you want to. Correct.
Yeah. And you can literally set up your own mini league because, like I said, just sign up with your 10 friends, all star each other, ignore the rest of us if you want, and just compete against each other. Put money on it. Say next weekend on the course, $10 to anybody who beats this week. Just have fun doing it. It's a nice little feature that makes it much easier to do. So I don't know. We'll see how MCO Music City Open goes.
I have a question. I've never done this before. I submitted my picks, but Ben is wanting to change, and I'm going to let you guys vote. I see some big germs in there between me and Ben.
I don't want to change.
I want to change.
Whoa!
So it's a matter of if everybody's okay with that. Before we left the segment, can I change my MPO pick?
I think it was technically only if he DNFs, right? Or drops out before the event. Not DNF, sorry.
Yeah, but the segment's not done, Nick. The segment's not done.
He's saying he didn't submit until
I don't know. Technically, you have to submit before the show. So I think that's technically.
Well, Ben didn't submit before the show. His came after the show started.
Oh.
So we already have.
Ben.
Because I see on my end, it goes.
We already have some controversy.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't care because I think it'd be funny if you change and then don't get as many points.
So you guys are okay? Ben, are you okay with it?
Well, yeah, but you just got to tell us now what it is.
It's Yakub to pop.
Oh.
All right, well, now
he was a great drop pick the other day.
That's actually a good pop pick. Oh my goodness, I'm screwed.
After I just went on about like the forehand and all that.
Which Yakub?
Cimarron.
Semirad.
All right, I was just making sure.
I'm going to change it right now in my actual app pick. So it's in there correct. If we ever look back for historical data and we see it here, I better change that too. But then it'd be too late in the show anyways. Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Well, Music City Open, looking forward to it. And hey, just for a couple minutes, we're not going to dive deep into it. But there's another event between now and Music City Open that's a Disc Golf Pro Tour event. Nick, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm assuming you're talking about the match play.
Yeah,
event.
I'm talking about the match play. So we've been hearing kind of rumors about it for a while, and the Pro Tour kind of announced, and there's been some communication. If you're paying attention, you'll definitely see it. It hasn't been like secret, but it also hasn't been like a big deal because it's a new approach to it this year. So like we don't really have any historical precedent. The Pro Tour has tried different match play events in the past, and some of them were exciting and fun, but this year, really kind of a brand new approach to it. And so they're playing on Thursday. If you're local, you can buy tickets, go out and spectate. If you're not local, you'll be able to watch coverage. And you basically have 16 MPO and 16 FPO, and they're playing. There are several events throughout the year, Music City Open, Green Mountain, Crokel, and Idlewild. So each of those 4 events. And then there's a championship in November. And without going too much into it, I think there's some fun matchups this Thursday. So if you're looking for some kind of different level of entertainment, I have no idea how it'll play out on the overall Pro Tour. But think about like an MPO, like Gannon Burr versus AB. Like that's kind of a cool match play. Yeah. Dickerson, Humphreys. Then you have Ricky Macbeth, who apparently they are now best friends doing media and the same team and whatever, but we'll see how that rivalry holds up. Matty O and then Ezra Aderhold. And by the way, it's fun because a lot of these players have earned their place based off of finishing like all-star players. But then there's also like tour director picks. Like Ezra Aderhold was a tour director pick. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what's behind that. Like that's curious. But then you have Niklas and Ezra playing against each other. That's a cool matchup. Joey Bucket's playing against Simon. So we didn't ask Simon about match play, but he's playing.
How are we not getting an Ezra Robinson versus Isaac Robinson match play?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, except that Calvin, I can tell you, but Calvin's playing against Isaac.
Okay.
So Isaac is out there. And then Hamas against Devin Smith.
Damn.
Yeah. And then just because we went through the names, let's make sure we cover the FPO names because there's some exciting ones too. Think about this. Holland Handley and Ella Hansen. Like... Didn't Ella just stay at Holland's like ranch over the weekend? Yep. So, and we always hear they're close friends and close competitors, and here they are going to be on the course, which is kind of cool. Deanne Carey, Ali Smith. And then you have Owen Scoggins and Kat Murch. I think that should be a competitive matchup. Eliezra Midling playing against Katrina Allen, one of the tour director picks. So that's kind of, that'll be, talk about young and old. And I don't only mean age. I mean like competitive experience. That's kind of cool. Kristen Lott is playing against Silva. That's a interesting European matchup. Mm-hmm. And then we have Paige Pierce playing against Lucky, which is a tour director pick. And then lastly, Missy Gannon against Rebecca Cox. And then Jessica Weiss against Madison Walker.
Let's go.
Nice.
She's winning. She's taking it down.
Yeah. So that's what's been communicated. To be honest, I haven't seen are all of those players, did they actually sign up? Are they all there? I don't know how backfills and all that might work, but that's what based off the qualification methods. And I don't know. I mean, you all can react to it if you want. I don't have much to say because I haven't seen it. It's intriguing. It's interesting. It's more golf to watch with a different style of play, which match play can be really exciting. It can also be boring in some cases, but the way they matched up those names, pretty intriguing to me. So I don't know. It should be interesting to see.
9 holes or 18 holes of match play?
Well, I have to look because I don't remember.
Yeah. Either way, I think match play is fun. I think it creates hero shots. It sometimes can.
Yeah, that eagle shot.
I mean, there's
18 holes each, and they're the day before the events.
Yeah, I actually really like that. I didn't realize it was spread out throughout the year. I think that's awesome. It just gives something new for those 3-round events. It gives them that kind of, on Thursday we get to watch some match play between the players. Competitive. It's I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so exactly. We have here in April and then again in July over in Europe and then in August. So they're definitely spread out and then September before GMC. So, and then what's interesting is a championship, match play championship after the end of the season. So technically the season's not over until this event for these players. So I think that's interesting. I think a lot of players often are ready to be done, right? But then again, if you are the last few at the top, right? Maybe you're ready to kind of win another championship of some sort. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like it.
No, that's sweet. I'm excited for this weekend too. I like watching this tournament. Fortunately, I've been to it live. Watching it on live coverage as well is really, really fun. I don't know, is there any big significant changes to the course or anything like that? I do know that potentially bad weather throughout majority of the week, so that's going to create for a pretty not fun time for the players, but fun time for us.
Maybe it depends how bad it is. Yeah, it can be intriguing though.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like, dang, they just missed
Is it like, I mean, I see the general forecast, but haven't studied it. So like, are we just talking like rain? We're not talking thunderstorms, like not rainouts or cancellation.
I saw people would post a screenshot of the weather app and there was lightning in the forecast, but that's also, we're 4 days out from it. And that kind of stuff changes every single day.
I know there's nothing, obviously it's ridiculous.
I know that the East Coast has got some pretty gnarly storms lately. Yeah.
But I hate all the delays and cancellations. Obviously, there's nothing you can do. But I'm like,
I want to watch a tournament where it's 75 degrees, sunny, and no breeze, and I want to watch good players play good disc golf. And that's enjoyable to me. So
I mean, there are exceptions. For example, Calvin Heimberg at USDGC in the rain,
in the pouring.
But I mean, but that's an incredible that's a different thing where you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Right. So like, I don't mind them having to play in kind of really tough conditions. I just hate the actual delays or cancellations.
Yes.
But Music City Open. We've seen that event several years now on the Pro Tour. It was like a silver series 1 year in between there when that series existed. And basically Simon's your favorite just based off of the history of the event. So it should be good. And Kristen's your favorite, right? So, and we picked him.
Josh, you're on vacation this week.
Yeah, so my family and I, not that you're asking for specifics, but we are literally just taking a true legit family vacation where we're getting on an airplane and flying to Central Florida. Nice. We'll probably drive to the Tampa coast at some point, the good chance at least. But literally, this is the kind of vacation that we like, which is there's nothing on the schedule. We have a house rental with a swimming pool and a hot tub in 7 days. And I'm sure we'll do activities, but nothing scheduled. Like it's called vegging out.
Good for you.
We need it. Which means I won't be on the show next week either.
Right. And
good excuse.
I will be with Ben and Nick, but I'm flying out the next day. Here's a quick travel itinerary for you. I'm flying out this week, Wednesday, till the end of the week. Then I'm flying out. Oh, actually, no, dang it. This is why I'm saying it out loud. This all just came together today. I got asked to go to Houston on Monday. So it's going to be Ben, Nick, and we're going to put up the Evan signal. It's going to probably be you guys.
That's the show everybody will like, the Gramless. What do you call it? Like
the Gramless show.
People like that. People like that. You know, Nick, Ben, you guys got it going.
Staggered stance. It'll be called straight putt.
My schedule next week is wake up at 3:45 in the morning for work, and then go to work till 7 o'clock, and then do the podcast. Yeah.
And so, long story short, I just found that out literally right before the show. So that will be Monday. I'm traveling out. I'll be back by the end of the week. And then the next week, I'm traveling out again back to Wisconsin. It is an insane period for me right now. It's not always this way, but we're going to keep the show going for you as best as we can. That's one of the benefits of the Staggered Stance crew, is that we're able to kind of, I guess, bob and weave. We'll keep trying to bring you the best and all that. I think we talked quite a bit in an off week about a lot of different things that didn't need as much time, but we're a talk show. We hope you guys enjoyed it. I will always bring up things to talk about that maybe others will be like, why are we talking about it? But guess what? You comment, you give your opinion, they give their opinion. Mm-hmm. We're all talking disc golf in the end.
We got a Staggered Stance about it.
Literally, of course, yes, I'm friends with you all, but I was just a normal listener to this show for several years. And of course, the interviews and the perspective of the pros and key, people in the sport are a big part of what we do. But I'm going to actually say the ones where you all debated topics and had terrible takes were the ones that actually made me like get the most like engaged listening, just being like, I'm going to send them a text and tell them,
that was a good one.
My perspective. Yeah. So I'll even say, listeners, I mean, literally, of course, you may feel like they're rambling and they have stupid opinions. Share that. I mean, I would ask you to be nice because that's nicer, but I guess I don't care if you're nice or not. But like, tell us, you have opinions on whether it's a stupid question to ask. Does the Jonesboro Open matter? Like that, what do you think? Right? Or all these other debates and topics, whatever, just share, but share it in a nice way. If I can ask, if you're mean, that's okay too. But hey, it's not as fun.
Don't be mean. Be nice.
What is mean anyways? No, that's another topic for another day. That's my other podcast. Yeah. All right, we've made it to the end of the show. I'll let Nick close it out. People are calling Nick and Matt show and all different things in the chat tonight.
Nice.
Old school.
Everybody. Yeah, no, right? Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this wonderful episode of Staggered Stance. Thank you to Titan Disc Golf and Hooligan Discs for the sponsorships and partnerships throughout the year. Definitely go check them out and go use our discount codes for both of them. I don't think we have one for Hooligan, but I know Ben does, so use Ben's code on Hooligan.
Ben 10,
use our
baby.
code on TitanDiscGolf.com. They're great. We appreciate them very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube video. Sign up for your DGN network subscription if you haven't already so you can watch the Music City Open. Check out Pop, Drop, Lock. Make your picks before 7 a.m. the first round. Tell someone you love them this week. We'll catch you guys all in the next one.
That's right. Hope you guys are enjoying the disc golf season. It always goes so fast. When you're sitting there watching disc golf this weekend, we're all one big community, enjoying and rooting for good storylines and exciting throws. So I'll be thinking about all the disc golf community while I'm watching and traveling this week. Hope you guys can do the same. We'll catch you out there. We'll see you around for the next one, guys.
See y'all later.
That's right. Ben won't be married by the next one, but the next one he'll be married by the next one. So we're getting close.
Hey.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Good.